We're going, right?
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Farmhouse Fabrics, everybody. My name is Sally, and I'm going to show you a few things, but Michelle is here with us today. Last week we spent some time showing Michelle's things when she was at Regina's retreat, but she was nice enough to leave them with us and then all the details. But today she has a new project that she made last night, and it's very, very pretty. You're gonna love it. And so she's gonna come up and show what she's been working on. First of all, I kind of wanted to cover some things that that were in our newsletter, and also I think I'm gonna start while people are logging on. I'm gonna just start by showing you. This is the Winter 1990 So Beautiful magazine. And wonder why I like this magazine. Well, this is Martha Pullens's daughter on the front. This is Australia, which I have a son in Australia. Hey, you know what? I didn't even think about that. And that very son is in a pictorial in this magazine. Oh my goodness. Why did that not even register until this minute? That my son Daniel is living in Australia with his family. He works there. He's a mechanical engineer, and they've been there about 8 years, and they really love it. And so, anyway, I had forgotten which issue that that his picture was in, but he was born in 1985, and so he was a young fella. And I'll have to show you. We also have daughters of some friends that were in this pictorial too. But I'll go to the close-up so you can see this cute little boy. Oh my goodness. So he, the overhead works with YouTube and Facebook, but Instagram we're recording on our phone, and so we don't have an overhead camera. I'm so sorry. But anyway, I'm going to go to the overhead, and let's see if we can get you a picture of Daniel. I'm going to send him this magazine. Let's see. Here he is right here looking so cute. I'll get a close up. And all that blonde hair, oh my goodness. Because right now, pretty much, he has no hair. But he's still as cute as can be. Look at them. Can you see his little face in there? Right here. So, this is a daughter of a friend. This is a daughter of a friend. This was taken with, this is son of a friend.
You can zoom out a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I'm pointing to it, but guess what? You can't see it, can you? Let's see. Aren't they cute? We had a lot of fun. This was taken in Aiken, South Carolina, and we were at Joellen Newman from Stitches Unlimited in Aiken, South Carolina, and the photography was by Todd Lista. And Todd is, he has a photography business. He's still in business. In fact, I had purchased a really cute picture of Daniel alone. This was a little linen knickers and jacket and a turtleneck. And his big brothers made fun of him. I didn't think that was girly, but they gave him a hard time about this picture. Anyway, Joellen said she thinks I could probably contact Todd and he might still have a picture of Daniel in the archives, because that little picture we had of him burned up in our fire. But anyway, I'm going to send this magazine to him, and look at those puffy sleeves that we had. Big puffy sleeves, a lot of dropped waist. The dresses were T-length at that time. This was 1990. But how cute are these little coats and jackets? I mean, these are cape. This is a cape. This is a capelet over a coat. They're wonderful. And then I think in this same, yeah, this is the daughter of a friend of ours. So it's a really pretty picture where she's looking in the mirror and she has this beautiful little heirloom slip. And then here, daughter of a friend of ours, and then a son of a friend. So anyway, it went back a long time, but brings back a lot of great memories. When I'll have to show. I'll hold this up for Instagram. But aren't they cute with pictures where they're standing looking in the mirror? I think it's very adorable. It's always a lot of work for a pictorial for the magazine, but worth it for years and years. So anyway, we're going to keep looking for another issue of this to come through so that I can give a copy to my friends that have 3 daughters in this issue. So that'll be fun to show them. All right, go right here. We have, during the week I think about things that we can discuss, and usually they come because somebody has asked a question, or one of the granddaughters has worn a dress that I thought, oh, we should talk about that technique, and that's one thing we're going to do today. But the other thing is, fabric, everything, fabrics, laces, everything, they've gotten more and more expensive, and we all feel it in our pocketbook. And so I wanted to talk for a minute about how to conserve fabric when you're cutting things out. And I'm going to show you, for instance, okay, this is like a pretend skirt pattern piece. So this is a part, this would be on the fold, this is the top, and this is the bottom of the skirt. And obviously it would be a lot longer than this. So sometimes the layout will tell you to just place this on the fold and cut your pattern piece out. So I'm going to show you what happens if you do that. I've got this, I know it's dirty, but that's why we can use it and cut it up. But anyway, so here is either 58 or 56 inch wide piece of polyester dupioni. And if we took this pattern piece, I think I'll cut it out at the other side. It's not quite as awful looking. I think this one got stepped on. That can happen. Or the package can open in the truck on the way here, and that can happen also. So here it's on the fold. This is the fold. This is the top. This is the selvage edge. So if we just went to the layout and said put your piece on the fold. I'll go to the overhead here and show you this. And I'm going to back it up so you can see what I'm doing here. So here we have this, let's say this is a skirt piece and it's placed on the fold, and I'm actually going to just cut this so that you can see. And all right, I just whacked this out, so it's not anything super. This is 17 inches across, so it would be 34 inches in the front and 34 inches in the back if you had 2 skirt pieces. So let's go up here. Make sure I'm not cutting my tablecloth while I'm at it. And then we'll cut across the top. I'm going to show you something that I do when I get to the middle. If it's a I'm gonna lay it on here so you can see it. If it's on the fold, I cut up, and so that there's a little arrow, kind of a little pointy thing. Anyway, I cut that up a notch. There's a notch. There we go. An upward notch. I can't think of my words today. All right, so I'm going to cut across the bottom, and so now I have my skirt piece cut on the fold. I'll go back here and I'll show you this. This is my skirt piece cut on the fold. And this would be either the front or the back. And can you see this notch right here? That signifies it's the center, and then I don't have to be measuring all the time. I can see that. I don't have to put a blue mark or anything. So here we are, and you've got your skirt front or skirt back. But then you go back over here, and what do you have left on the side? You have 2 skinny little pieces, maybe not even big enough to cut a sleeve. And so that's kind of a pain. You might be able to cut a bodice back, but you can't cut a bodice front on the fold. And so they're almost like just a loss to have this. But suppose you, and a lot of you already do this, so I'm sorry if it's, if it's something that you do, but anyway, if you refold your fabric, I'll start it. Let me start at the other side so you can see what I'm doing. Let's say you're going to refold your fabric, and we know this is 17 inches. I need 17 inches. So I'm going to refold my fabric. So 17 inches, that'll be your center. Refold it to here. And already you can see how much I have left remaining to cut a full bodice front, a full sleeve, bodice back, big long pieces of bias, and you still can cut your skirt piece on the fold. So we're going to go just like this, and honestly I can actually bring it over, line it up. I'll go to the overhead and show you again.
David said, Kate says hi. David.
Oh, hey.
I can't pronounce.
All right. Kate is the one that's made our flower bed so gorgeous, and now she's learning how to do all of our winding. Yeah. All right. Kate's got two cute little boys. All right, so now I'm going to cut across the bottom. And if I cut my own skirt piece, I usually angle it in at the top. And here I'm going to make a little notch going down. All right, now I'm going to go back to here. So here's half of my skirt piece. And this time I put a notch into the seam allowance. And so either way I can find that center. But
so do you do one for the front and a different one for the back?
Only because I had this lined up at the very top and I didn't have room to cut a notch up and down. Yeah, you could I suppose. But look what's left on this side. Look at here. That's a big old piece. And so if you're cutting long skirts like T-length or something, or the whole dress, if it's a yoke dress and you have the skirt all the way down plus the hem, you can cut all of your small pieces down the side of the skirt pieces. And if the skirt pattern piece tells you that it needs to be a full 45 inch in the front and 45 in the back, you can decide on your own that it doesn't need to be that full width. Sometimes really fine lightweight fabrics is much prettier when it is full like that. But if it's a little heavier or bouncy fabric, it's so not necessary to have a full 45 inch width in the front and the back. I mean, this is like 34, and on a small skirt, this is plenty full. And if you have a bouncy fabric that has a design at the bottom, maybe you don't want it so full because you want to show off your design. And so a little bit less full would show off more design. But here is the difference. What's left over if you refold your fabric or if you cut. I mean, isn't that big? That's a big difference. And then let's say you have this big piece, but you need a lot of bias. So you just cut it. I'm going to go back over here and show you this. I'm really bad at winging things. I like to make it a 45-degree angle as best as possible, like this, like this, like this, and I'll just go up here, boom, boom, and here you have a bias already. And this is definitely large enough. One piece that would go around the armhole, would definitely go around the neck, and so let's say maybe I want 2 of these. All right, so let's say this is here. I'm gonna eyeball it I'll go a little ways, and then for my perfectionist friends, they would not say this is okay. But this is what I do. I lay it out like this. I fold it back up like this. And go like that, because a lot of times I can't find my ruler and my rotary cutter. Because
the lady taught me that, like him and taking off length
yeah.
on a dress. She'd do a little bit and fold it over and go all the way
Oh.
around. And I was like,
Yeah. I mean, you can get off a little bit and then, but, you know, I do a little bit, fold it over. So pretty much, I mean, it's not exact, but it works for me. And so, but man, if you, let's say this is a white fabric, you could just keep on cutting these strips. Just keep cutting these strips until you don't have any more strips. And I'm looking for my little blue piece of fabric. So we've talked about this before. I'll bring on you'll be able to see it in this bright orange. Whew. This is a new fabric we're going to talk about. This is orange denim, you guys. Really cool. So how do you piece your, we have discussed this before. How do you piece your bias together? Because, okay, here we go. Overhead. You love having your bias. You want that seam to be on the bias too, because it's prettier when it's made. You just can't even see it. I'll go a little bit closer. So that's going to be the seam, but it's going to look so weird when you put it together, because it's going to go like this, and you see these little tails sticking out right here. But that's okay. And so what you're going to do is sew like a, I don't know, whatever size that little tail is, about 1/4 of an inch. You sew right from here straight down to here. I should do it this way so you can see it better. And then press that seam open, and that's going to be a pretty seam, and then you can just come back and trim that off. And so I'm going to show with the overhead, you actually end up, when you're piecing your bias, you end up with 2 pieces like this, and then and you sew from here to here, press that seam open. You know what, I'll go back this way too. Press that seam open, and then you have a continuous bias. So you might not have a big enough piece to work with making, you know, folding your squares and making a continuous bias. But if you have a small piece, you can piece together all kinds of lengths of bias. And oh, we have some other fabrics to show. Anyway, that's how you save fabric. And we sell bias ready-made, but sometimes you want the exact bias of your fabric that you're sewing with. Ooh, these are Italy, right?
Anna says she's done that before.
Yeah. When I used to do custom sewing, and you know, many times the customers would bring me a package of bias ready-made to go to, and even piping. I made my own piping, but if they didn't, then I'm not up a creek, because it's very simple to cut bias, piece it. And the one thing you want to make sure is that when you're sewing it to a garment, you don't want that seam to be right in the center here. You want to kind of shift it around, even if you lose a little bit of your length. Shift it around so it's like at the shoulder seam or farther back, or something, someplace that isn't obvious. And so anyway, Connie Palmer gave me a formula for, and I wrote it down somewhere in this pile, how wide to cut the bias so that you double fold it and you can fold it over, and it's exactly right, because she uses it every time. And what I do is I eyeball it, and try and make it the same every time just by looking at it, which doesn't always work. Use her method. It works better. Definitely works better.
Sue says the larger square you started with could be made into yards of continuous bias.
Yes, you're right. A lot of yards. That's so true. Yep. So there we go with that. There's a skirt of some sort out of some dirty fabric. We had a shipment come in of fabric that's been interesting and different. And so I'll show you some. This orange, this is really orange. This is a denim. It's got that nice weight of denim. You can make a jacket, and it's all cotton. It does not have stretch, and it's got that twill weave of a denim. I'll go up see if we can get a little closer look. But it's a great orange if you like orange. If you like Clemson, I like Clemson, and I don't know. Tennessee really isn't this orange, right? It's a different color, but this is a wonderful fabric, and it's got a good weight. And so the best way to describe it is denim, because it's got structure to it. It's very nice. So this just went on. Christy just put this on today, and awesome. So it's a twill. The twill weave. What is a twill weave? A twill weave is you can see the bias on a twill weave. You can see the weave that goes at a diagonal. That's a twill weave. And so the other twill weave, and these came from Italy right here, these two. This doesn't have a twill weave, but it's pretty cool. This is a like a brushed, it's got a fine twill weave, but it's not super lightweight, but it'd be wonderful for pants or a skirt or a jumper. And this is kind of a khaki color. I'm not sure what Christy called it. It's kind of a golden khaki, I think. But it has a little bit of stretch on this one. A little bit. But look what came with it. I mean, it's pretty cool. This is 100% cotton from Italy with a gold foil print. Very different. And they're flowers. They're like almost like stencils. So here we go. Let's take a look.
Back to the orange. Nancy said Auburn has that orange.
Oh, Auburn has that orange? Okay, good. Good. Auburn and Clemson. And if you just like orange, a lot of people like orange.
Yeah,
Good.
she called that suede golden.
Suede golden? Yeah, it's a golden khaki kind of. It's a good, like a real structured, good pant weight, shorts, pants, men's pants, ladies' trousers, that kind of thing. A jumper. But look at this cool, they called it gold foil flowers on a white cotton. And it's a high thread count, really high thread count white cotton. I mean, it feels amazing. Let's see. Does it have any stretch to it? Tiny bit. Tiny, maybe 2% maybe. Just barely to make it.
Darla's got a question about the bias.
Yeah.
I think I can answer it, but I want to make sure.
Okay. All right.
So Sally, when you're cutting out your pattern pieces from fabric, do you fold your fabric with right sides together or wrong sides, or does it matter? Doesn't matter, does it?
I don't think it matters. Sometimes if you're trying to match a pattern, or you might want to do it a certain way, like a plaid, or if you're trying to line things up, you might, because sometimes when I'm trying to match something, then I'll pick it up and look and then roll it back over and put it together, and so it's easier to see if you're matching. But if it's a plaid woven, then it doesn't really matter if it's right side or the wrong side. I don't think it matters when you cut it out. What does matter is the direction that you cut your fabric in. And I don't always cut all my pattern pieces in the same direction, but I have been shocked a couple of times that it really made a difference on a woven fabric that was It was one I made for my granddaughter for a pictorial, and I was really surprised that it did change the color. It wasn't a napped fabric, but it changed the color, the way the sun hit it and everything. It was like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize that was going to be two different shades in with one, let's say a skirt piece going in one direction and in the other. So the direction that you cut it out makes a lot of difference. And some people will always cut their fabrics in the same direction, or the top of the skirt, the bottom of the skirt, you know, just follow the same direction. I don't do that. If it's a broadcloth or something like that, I think it doesn't really matter. But I'm not as particular as probably I should be. But how cool is this, right? What would you do? I mean, my grandkids would think this is wonderful because they like a little bit of glitz. And I even think the older girls, if I had something with a puffy sleeve like
Puffy
this.
sleeves are so popular.
Yes,
It'd be really cute.
I could see Lila with a top and a big puffy sleeve like that.
I mean, even if you use the twill and use that for the sleeves.
They put all kinds of things together. Yeah. But it's neat. I've never had anything with what they said gold foil. I've never done that before. I didn't know I was going to have this either. It kind of surprised me it was in the box. But I'm thinking, okay, I like that. Sometimes I get surprised by what we get. And we're making lemonade out of lemons, right? But I don't think this is a lemon. I think it's just different. So two other ones that just came in, and they're from Italy. Look at these gorgeous wide wale, I'm going to say velvets. They're wide wale corduroy. Ooh, they are really, 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 really pretty. So I'm going to go to the overhead and show you this. Is she calling this off-white? What is she calling?
Almond milk.
What?
Almond milk.
Almond milk. This is almond milk. And it's interesting because it doesn't have the same size.
Those whales are interesting.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to try and get close so you can see. Because it's a little one and a wide one, little and wide. And, man, they're pretty. Really soft. This is an Italian cotton fabric. No, I don't think any stretch in these. And, what?
Said it's a mama whale and a baby whale.
Yeah, mama whale and a baby whale. But these are whales and not whales. Okay.
Whales, not whales.
Like the Prince of Wales. The Prince of Wales. So this is a W-A-L-E. Yeah, mama and baby. But this is pretty. And our wide wale corduroys have been really popular this year. They've been surprisingly selling faster than the feather wale. So then this one, this is a really pretty color. When I first saw it in a picture of it, it looked like it was going to be periwinkle, but it's got a little hint of purple in it, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And this one has the same size whales. And
You're just having a whale of a time.
I'm having a whale of a time. So let's see, because we learned last week how to know how many whales there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5 whale. What'd Christy get?
4.
I don't know. She got 4? Mm-hmm. 4 3/4. It's a little
Between
less.
4 and 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 4 3/4. But again, made in Italy. Just went on just a minute ago. And really, really soft. Really soft. When my boys were in high school, I always wanted to buy them corduroy pants, and they wouldn't have anything to do with it. But I thought they looked so great on guys. Corduroy men's slacks, you know, they look good. But they were like, And so, you know, what you're going to do, you're not going to buy them something that they won't put on. But see, even gathered up, that's pretty. That's really pretty. Pretty color. Everything. Really pretty.
Rosanna said those wide wells are so soft and beautiful, getting ready to cut into one I got at the end of winter last year.
Good, good. Yeah, this is beautiful. I was happy to get the wide wheels. They're nice. So let me show you another one that just came in, and this is an interesting fabric. Gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous fabric. This is made in the United States by a company that originated in Germany in the 1800s. I've got something behind it so you can see the design on here. This is from the Klauber, Klauber brothers, and they were founded in 1859 in Munich, Germany. And then after World War II, they restarted their business in the United States, and they're still a family-owned business with a reputation for having very, very high-end laces and embroideries. And so I was excited to get this piece. I only have, I think, about 28 yards or something along that line. And I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. It's a double border, 100% cotton. Double border. Isn't that beautiful? These are like lace work in here. You can see through these flowers. Border on each side and white. Really, really gorgeous. You know, you can see the embroidery work like fanned out outside of the flowers embroidered on the edges. And then a pretty little simple design right here along the edge. Really nice. So I wanted to show this because I wanted to talk also about border fabrics. And you know, you go to the back of your pattern and say, okay, my pattern calls for well, I don't know if this one even has it on here. Let's say a pattern calls for size 6 wool dress in 45. This is wider than 45, but it might call for 2 yards. But how do they cut it out? You have to think with a border. You have to think immediately, how full am I going to make my skirt? Because you're cutting your skirt pieces along the edge. So you have to think, okay, if my skirt is, see if sometimes they'll give you the amount. Let's say they're saying, let's say the skirt is 45 inches. Well, guess what? A skirt front and a skirt back, that's going to take 2.5 yards. Oh, good. Here comes another piece. That would take 2.5 yards if you had a single border of the fabric. But then you might end up with a whole bunch of fabric along the other side. Or you might make it 45 inches is 1 1/4. If it's wide enough to make 2 skirts, let's see how deep would this skirt be. You could get 1 1/4 yards, and that's enough to make your skirt nice and full. Because this is I don't know, what is it from here down is, let's say 25 inches, skirt's 25 inches. So you think, okay, what size am I making? A border print is very important for you to know the measurements of what you're making. So you could get 1 1/4 yards, and you'd have you'd have a skirt front and a skirt back that are, 25 inches deep. So there's 1 1/4 yards. Then you have all this other fabric. Maybe you can get it out of less than what they call for. Or maybe if you want your border to be all one length, or if it's a single-sided border and not double, it might require more. So the measurement for a a garment out of border fabric, you almost need to take your pattern out, lay it out on a piece of fabric. If you're at home and you're interested in ordering a border fabric, just find a piece of fabric and pretend you have a border on it. Lay your pattern pieces out, and then you'll see for sure what you need. And you might not have to get as much, and if it's a double border, you might be able to get less. And so then you can always ask us to do, and I was going to look around to see, do you have any solid white fabric that might go with this, so that you could make a solid bodice or a solid sleeve, or line it in whatever. Because you want your whites to match, and you want the weave to match and everything. So we try and hunt that out for you. We have a lot of white fabrics that we could put with it to see what would work.
Ann says, "Oh my goodness, the white embroidered from the German company. Be still my heart."
Is that Ann Dixon?
Mm-hmm.
I thought about Ann Dixon. She's making the most gorgeous clothes for her granddaughters. I thought about you, Ann. Yeah, this is beautiful. When they sent me the picture of this, I'm like, yes. And so we bought what they had, and it's really a little bit less than 30 yards. And so that's all we have. But I knew immediately. She laid it out on the table and took a picture and sent it, and I'm like, I want that. I want that. Anytime you have a fabric like this that has heavy embroidery, it's going to be expensive. Just like our Swiss flounces, they are expensive, and embroidered trims. But, it's so beautiful. It's really just gorgeous. I thought about First Communion dresses and Flower Girl dresses and things like that. It's pretty. It's really pretty.
And then Fred has something to say about the corduroy.
Oh, all right, Fred. Do you wear corduroy pants?
He said he loved the corduroy pants back in the day.
Well, see, I think they were great. I agree with that. My boys just said no. We're in the country. They didn't know what was cool, right? They didn't know. Yeah. Oh man, I'm doing too much talking because I want Michelle to. I would talk about how to do this V back, and on the. Let's see. Christy gave me a picture. What did I do with that? She gave me a picture to show the back. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. It's so great to do this for me. This is a picture of, it was in our newsletter. I have this flounce that Farron was wearing a dress. Oh, man. That's not it. This is our prize at the end, if you bear with us to the end. Well, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Look at here. The back of this is just a simple bodice dress pattern. And this is another one of fabrics that has scallop border embroidery on both sides. And it's expensive. And so you're like, how can I use it all? And so you really want to use all this edging if you can. It's nice to use it in sleeves or whatever. And so here I made a border back. I took a regular bodice pattern, and I'll show you the little pattern piece. So let's look at this. So this is this was a pattern. This is the Wendy pattern. So it was on the fold. Wendy by Primrose Lane. So I thought, well, so I needed to add a seam allowance so I'd have something to turn. Well, when we got down here, it needed a little facing so I could turn it under and put a snap back here. But so this is a regular bodice back where it just has the neckline that comes to the back of the neck. But I really wanted it to be like this. So here's my new bodice back pattern. So you can use any bodice. And then I took a little bit of seam allowance out of here so that that would fit in the, when I sewed it to the bodice front with a lining, and it wouldn't be wider. And yeah, here I think I can see I put a little piece of bias facing, a little bias band facing underneath here, the back part. And the front of this dress was lined. So here we have one bodice back. And like, how am I going to make that and use this design? So this is what I did. So I'm going to go to the overhead. I'm going to put this on this, maybe on this hot pink. Do I have that blue fabric around here somewhere? Well, you'll see. You'll be able to see it on the hot pink. This is pretty. The one that Farron had on was was white or ivory, and this is this beautiful pink color. It's so pretty. This is a Swiss embroidered voile. Was on the front cover of a So Beautiful many years ago. So here we have a single layer of the voile, right? And I want the scallop to go down at an angle. So it's going to be like this. I'll do it this way. It's going to be like this. So actually, you can see that that's going up at an angle, and then I just cut out here and cut out here, and so a little bit it's on the bias in the back, but it really doesn't matter. And that's how I did it. I did both sides. And then I had enough, I might have done it a little wider like this, so that I had enough to turn to stabilize and put a snap right here. And then I put beading along here and ran a ribbon through the waist. So let me see if I can show you on here, on front on.
Grace recognizes that fabric. She said she made a dress for herself with that pink.
Oh, good. Well, I started thinking about what else could you do, and you can do the same look. Let's say you were doing a Christmas dress. So here's a Christmas edging. Now, how wide does it have to be to? So look at here. This is not wide enough because look, you've got your underarm part right here. But suppose you took a piece of just a piece of white fabric, and you sewed a piece of white fabric right straight down here, so that it was an even amount to make it wide enough to, it's kind of like when you do a circle tablecloth. You have to add fabric to be able to cut your full circle tablecloth. So if you had a seam here, that would work great. If you wanted to, you could use beading, and maybe you would make it a little, you could put your beading and add enough fabric and make it decorative. Or you could use like entree, like a, look at this big old mess, right? Like a little beading entree, like, can you see that? And use that, and then, or you can just even do it down here and have a little piece, and it would be fine. Or just regular entree. But you definitely could add to this, and it wouldn't take away from it at all. You would just add white fabric, and then you would have enough to take one of your, well, look at this. I mean, this does not require very much of that wide edging. Let's see what it requires for this little, like, this is like 12 inches at the most, 12 inches on each side. So 2/3 of a yard of this really beautiful edging, and you can put that on the back of a garment.
Ann Dixon said she used that border method for flower girl dresses last year, and it really does work well and a real wow factor.
Oh, that's neat. For the back, you mean for the back? Going up like this? It is pretty. And they feel pretty in it when they have it like that. So let me hold this up for you so you can see. You can see this would be pretty going at an angle. Even with the Christmas with a red or a green microcheck or imperial, not imperial, microcheck or 1/16. But you just need to add a little bit of fabric here, add white fabric, and nobody's even going to notice. And then you have your full bodice. But see, it makes a V, and then you have your back coming up like this in a V that's all scalloped and pretty. So the front would be lined, but you can use a wide edging. Some of the edgings are even wider, but most of them are not coming super wide anymore. But look at this pretty thing. This is the prettiest. I don't even know if
this is one of the reasons I love watching Gab and Gush. I get so many new ideas.
Listen, I like watching people's too. I watch other people's lives because it's interesting to me what they're doing. This is the prettiest and most delicate and sweet. It's got little bows and they're pale colors. I think I was looking for the palest green, and I don't. It might be. This is Imperial, not Imperial. This is Mint Pima Cotton Batiste, and then this is a Swiss edging that just has the most delicate, sweet colors. Oh my goodness, it's pretty. And pink, blue, green, white, and almost, like they're baby colors. They're just fabulous. Even a baby blanket for a really special baby with this as a ruffle or something. Is that not pretty?
I'm wondering if you can zoom in because it is so pale. It's a little bit hard to see.
Okay, we'll try. Yeah, it is. It's hard. It was probably hard to picture online too. Let's see if I can get it closer enough so you can see those colors. So there's like a little bow, and a bouquet. Very, very sweet colors. I don't know if it shows up better.
You can see it a little bit better.
On pink? Or on here? On pink?
On the pink.
Oh, okay. Well, let's try it on the pink. Let me show you. I know they're hard to see. Some things are so hard to picture, but yeah. Really, really sweet. Love that. Some are just...
Lonnie's got a question.
Yeah.
She said, what would you do with the skirts with the edging?
With the skirts, with which edging? Like this edging? Oh, you mean...
Lonnie.
I'm not sure. Like if you put this on the back of a dress, what would you do for the skirt? Well, if you really wanted to spend some money, you could put it on the skirt too. I mean, it's pretty. The other thing, there is an insertion that goes with this. An insertion above the hem, about 4 inches above the hem, just inserted with beading or something like that. That would be pretty. And then this in the back, and then with a sash. You could have a beading going around here and a pretty ribbon sash. And then insertion above the hem. I have it somewhere around here. I don't have it at the table, but that would be beautiful. But
she said the Christmas.
What? Oh, the Christmas? Well, we do have Christmas. Let's get this over here. We do have insertions for Christmas too. And like this is pretty, even though it's not a very deep one. This would be really pretty. It's a delicate. Now this would be easy to put on put a beading and run it down the back, and then put it around the hem. This would be perfect for that. So this is, if I wrote this number, this is 63-100106, red and green. Hey, this is only $10.89. This is a good price. So I did pull out the red microcheck, and I bet the red gingham would be pretty for this too. But the green, this is Kelly or Emerald, Kelly. The Kelly, that would be pretty on the Kelly. And also you could put that on a hem. Put a couple of tucks above it and then put it around the hem. It'd be really pretty. I love the Christmas trims. I think they're so cool. I brought out like a little narrow, and I don't have the number of this, Emma. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
A little narrow edging that could be put. Oh, you could do something like that, right?
Wanna show that?
Yeah, yeah. So this one has, well, this one's lined, and this is a dotted Swiss. So it has an edging. This is about 4 inches, a beading, and then this is a piece of ribbon sewn on here. I think this is actually a wide piece of ribbon, and this beading is sewn on right above it. No, I'm wrong. I thought we were just looking through it. This is actually silk ribbon run through here, and then a piece of ribbon above it sewn into the garment, and then beading. If I were to replace a button back here, one of my grandkids could wear this, right? Mm-hmm. But that's a sweet little dress. I can go to the overhead and show you a little closer up of this. Let's see. This has been hanging here a while. It's gotten a little bit shop worn, but so this is lined, and it has silk ribbon sewn here, has beading sewn to the edging, and ribbon running through here. And then this ribbon is actually top stitched on, yeah, need my magnifiers to see that. That's stitched right at the very edge on both of these stitched. But that's sweet. And then here is just a narrow beading that matches the edging, and with ribbon running through. So very simple, very sweet. Hold it up and yeah. All right. Okay, I am gonna have Michelle. I know we got all these other trims, but we can talk about these another time, because I want Michelle to show you what she's been working on. So wonderful. All right, Michelle, let me get my junk out of the way so you can step on that. Doesn't matter.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to show you some simple things in between your complicated projects that you can do, because I like simple.
Yeah, but
you saw a little bit last week, so this is continuation.
Oh, it's so cute.
So at my sewing retreat, I saw a lady making bowl cozies, and she had made them with these pre-cut batting, and I showed it to Christy, and we got on and ordered some, and we were like, oh, well, this is a little bigger than I thought. So we went home last night and made a big one.
We didn't know they had so many sizes.
For your bigger casserole dishes, serving dishes.
I love that.
And so Sally graciously let me have some liberty to make one, and I had some Coral Fabric Finders gingham that coordinated.
So I said, use something pretty.
Yeah.
And when she came, I'm like, oh man, that looks so pretty with that with the combination.
So this is the Empress. We have a little bit of that left. And I used a half a yard. And I can get 2 large ones and 2 small ones out of a half a yard of each fabric. So if you want to do that.
I love that. And they're reversible, aren't
That's
they?
the coral. Yes.
Look
I
at
like
that.
to do 2 different fabrics. You could do it all the same,
Yeah.
but
But it makes your Liberty go a lot farther.
that's right. So
That's
I
cute.
wanted 4 bowls instead of 2. So.
Look at that. I'm telling you what, you reach in, you don't need hot pads to get your dish out of the microwave.
And then when you're passing around the table,
yeah, that's
it's not
right. That's right.
killing your hands,
Yeah,
so hurry
yeah.
up and put down. And of course these, now use your cotton thread only, because all this has to, can go in the microwave. If you don't want things melting. And I use that to push out my little
Oh, that's
rounded
neat.
edges.
So this is a point turner and seam creaser.
And so this is for your little bowls, like when you have your soups. Some people use them for cold stuff too, so their hands don't get cold. I'm thinking it might
Ice
get
cream.
my ice cream melted though, but maybe not. I use mine to heat up stuff, so it's great for kids. But this would be probably
So
Liberty for you.
We don't. We don't have the.
We're
we'll
getting
hold it-
that.
Yeah, we got the big one, the big package, and we're getting the smaller ones too. But so how many out of a half a yard of each of these fabrics? Totally, you had a half a yard of gingham and half a yard of Liberty. You tell me what you got out of that.
I get 2 of these and 2 of these.
Man, that's great.
I didn't calculate the small ones. You can get 4 or 4 small.
Oh, you mean out of
Out
what's
of a
left?
half.
Oh, out of a half. Oh, I wouldn't. That doesn't matter.
But you use 2 for each bowl cozy for each side of the fabric. So
And
they come in 8.
Yeah, that's how I was going to ask.
So you get 4 sets out of each package. We do have the wrap and zap too, that you can always do it with that and cut your own little templates. But
And isn't there a like a pattern out there for the wrap and zap? There's a pattern out there.
yeah, there's all
that.
kinds of free patterns.
Yeah.
I got mine made for mermaids, which is kind of little rounded edges. You can do more pointed edges. I mean, this pretty much tells you on the package how to do it
Yeah.
too. So yes, these are the ones coming. That's the 10.5-inch squares. And these are, you cut 16-inch squares for
I
those.
love this. So Thanksgiving, they're going to be seeing this at the table, aren't they?
Yeah, so I'm like trying to decide, do I do it that way or do I do it this way? Because then you can see my Liberty
Yeah, you
more.
can. I guess it depends on what color your food is.
So,
You got to coordinate your
True.
food color with your with your fabric.
so you can show off your dish.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled some other Liberties and coordinates. If you didn't like my choice, I like my choice.
Yeah, I do
a
too.
lot.
That's pretty.
That's some of my favorite colors, but we could show you that.
Fred said, "Hey Michelle," and Terry Collins said, "I sat next to Michelle at the retreat."
Oh,
Yeah.
And Josie said she wonders if it would work with a pie plate.
I'm sure it would. Yes, I've seen them for plates too. There's all kinds of
Oh.
different things you can do. And actually, when I made them years ago, I had these like pasta plates that we used all the time for kids. We loved it because it had a little bit of lift and
Yeah.
the kids weren't spilling everything.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a wide rim, which I like that. It just, we call it our bowl plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I made some that would fit that.
So you've been making these for a long time.
Yes. I made them. I don't know how long it's been, but when the lady she would help me with sewing or whatever, and we did them one time. She had brought all this fabric. She said, "Let's make these and whatever," and so we made them, and so I make them every once in a
I
while.
love that. Well, you're
I did
good
a few at
making-
the sewing retreat.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's all kinds. If you got the Liberty you like and you want us to coordinate, just let us know. We'll find something. This is it's called Sunny, And
I mean, you don't have to use Liberty. We encourage it.
No, you can use, and lots of times people use quilting cottons
Uh-huh.
to make them since they're a little bit thicker. But,
And there's so many options, too, with quilting cottons, too.
that's my first Liberty. Yes. And so, yeah.
Love that.
So turquoise and
We're-
sunny.
We're having a discussion. They're like, you got to put the Liberty on the outside. They can't bear the thought
Oh.
of hot food bubbling in.
I know,
we
I know
talked
that-
about that.
I know that's my thing
Right.
too. But then I'm like, this is so light too. But okay, we'll fix it for y'all.
I feel like that
Is
would
that
also
better?
be something good for someone who's not a good cook. People are still talking about.
Oh,
how
I
beautiful-
know.
Yeah.
Oh, she had
It
such
don't
a
matter what's
beautiful
in the bowl, just look
presentation,
at how
right?
beautiful it is.
Make a light colored dish.
Yeah.
Don't put any red or
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
dark green. This is another one that I'm thinking about getting some of my sisters because they like lavender, purple, and this is Libby B. And me and Diana like this lilac.
Well, I like it too. You're putting things together I hadn't thought about, like the turquoise with Sunny. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I was
that
trying to
looks
get a
so
little different.
great. It's
I looked at the
great.
raspberry, wasn't quite, and so.
Oh, the turquoise is good,
hmm
but this is pretty together.
And sometimes we're a little afraid to put the gingham with the Liberty because it's a little off-white.
Yeah, but this is
But
this is
I
white
think it
enough in
goes.
here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we can.
Oh, yeah, show Instagram.
Oh, we're not in the overhead and on either one.
Well, let's put this on overhead.
Okay. Yeah,
that
look at
better?
that. Yep, that's pretty.
It's really pretty. And there's another blue colorway.
So this
a
one
Libby
is
too.
Libby B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just like clothes from Liberty last for generations, your little dish things, they'll be fighting over at your funeral.
They'll be like, ooh, where'd you get that?
Mom put that in her will for me.
So this will be nice Christmas gifts. You could make some of these for your family.
Yeah,
and
they would
friends.
be very nice.
So I'm thinking about doing my sister's some.
Well, that's a great idea.
So,
They're one of those gifts you don't know you need it till you have it. They're
right.
so great.
I know that the one that you have in the kitchen, I have my coffee
Christmas
filters. My coffee filters sit in there. They're the perfect fit for the coffee filters.
Well, when I need a bowl cozy, I just take
You
them
take 'em
out
out, yeah,
and use
that's
it, and
right,
then put the
that's
coffee
right.
filters back in.
Now this is a pretty combination too. This is very white
Ornate
on the
trail.
back.
And there's your blue for people that like blue, and I thought the royal went really
It
well with
does.
this
It looks
one.
great. Michelle's our matcher around here.
I like to match.
Yep, she does, and she spends a lot of time when you call and ask for things. She really makes an effort to.
And
to get
I'll
things to
tell you my
match.
oops I did since you're talking about matching.
What'd you do?
So I was making this last night, and I had some watermelon gingham, and I wasn't under all the light, and I thought it looked like it matched this darker the outline of the flower. And I cut it out, did all my stuff, put it whatever, turned it right side out. I'm over there by my machine that has the nice. I was like, oh, that does not look good. That does not
Oh.
match. And I didn't want to take it out yet. So I said, well, I got another one. So I just did the other one. I'll take the other one out later.
Are you
But,
really
I
gonna?
like the coral a lot better.
That's pretty
Yes.
with it. So it really didn't look good with it, or is it just?
Because the
you would
watermelon's a little
notice?
more reddish.
Oh,
And I thought, and I'm trying to tell my husband to get me some more lights over there.
Oh.
And he doesn't.
well, that's pretty.
So, yes, I do like to match. And sometimes my mom would get, because she would do something and it wouldn't be, and I would notice that it was.
Oh, you would bring it up to her.
I'm like, well, that doesn't really.
Oh,
Then I learned to just
not say anything.
not say anything.
Oh. Well,
I
you're
like it
making
to match.
you're making some knit pajama bottoms too.
I am, and we don't have any more of this knit left, but my husband
We have
is
some other options.
We do. My husband is a Snoopy fan.
Oh.
So I got him the blue.
Somebody bought all the rest of our blue just the other day.
Yep. And so I'm making these, and I just changed out the elastic because I thought it was a little wimpy for a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, it's got a little more room. It's kind of twisting anyway. So I put 5/8 in. I had a half. And then I was showing them to my son, and he was like, Mom, did you put pockets? I'm like, the guys like pockets too. Which my pattern didn't have a pocket in it. It was this one I used. Simplicity. It's got you a cute little drawstring bag. I don't know that my husband will be using a drawstring bag, but to carry it in. But it didn't have it, and I was like, he said, yes, Mom, we like pockets.
Oh,
I'm like,
boy.
So then I got another pattern out that I had that he clearly has a pocket.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I've cut them out. Now I just got to figure out what I got to undo to get it in here. So he will eventually have.
I told
some
her,
pockets.
now with this pocket, it has to go up there under that band because that holds it up.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this out.
But you won't have to take the band out if you change your line and you make it like this, angle it down here like that. And then this goes in your side seam. It can go down here a little ways. You can open it up, sew it into your side seam on both sides. And then, see, here's your, did you mark your little, what's this? Anything?
Well, it was
Is that
supposed
that
to
was
go
the
with
notch,
the
right?
other
Okay.
one, but I don't have a notch in this one, so
But-
I'm kind of guessing.
But you could sew this into your side seam using a tiny little stitch, and then open it up, and then the other side you sew in, and then you do right sides together.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is already like angled here. That's big enough for him to put his hand and stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you start sewing down your side seam, and then you stop right about here, and then you open it up again right down here because it's already going down, and start sewing the rest of the way. So then you have, that's big enough. Put your hand in there. That's big enough to put your hand in the side pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this without taking the waistband off, without doing anything to your waistband. You can do
Okay.
it. You can do it.
Well, hopefully by this weekend, because
Just cut this.
Halloween's coming up. And
Cut
this
this
has Halloween
angle.
on it.
Oh yeah.
The great, what is it called? The great pumpkin? The great big pumpkin?
What I can't really
It's,
remember.
It's some episode that
Yeah.
Charlie Brown
Mhm.
shows.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. We do have a little bit of,
Those are like organic cottons, knits.
just a little.
Yeah. Oh,
You
the
can make
cream.
shorts,
The cream.
which you could probably still wear it around here.
Yeah.
This is for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
More
that's
Charlie
right.
Brown. We got time to do that.
We don't have much. We got a little bit on each bolt.
Yep.
Got a little bit. It's cute.
But we do have a lot of the Christmas. Well, I'll go a little bit of the Santa
Oh,
letters.
I like that. Letters to Santa.
You can make some cute little Christmas.
That's cute. This is really comfortable knit too.
Yes, very soft.
Yep. It's got a little. It's organic cotton lycra. Yep. That'd be cute. Pajama bottoms.
And then of course we have all other knit. I thought this one was cute.
It is.
The yoga. That would be cute. My daughter might like that one.
I bet she would.
I think that one's fun. And I got one more, and that's all I got there.
I
Just
love
some-
that.
Some floral.
Yeah.
Wear year round.
That's right. This has got good weight to it for pants, pajama pants, and two-way stretch or four-way stretch. I guess you call it four-way. But yeah, it's got nice weight to it. These would be great pajama
This
pants
is called
by Burnham.
Burnham. Is that
By
the name of the flower?
I don't know.
Oh.
Did we make that name up? We might have made that name up.
No. I had to ask Christy
We do a
about
lot
that.
of makeup name. We make up names a lot. We do. Yeah.
So
All
there's
right.
your easy projects in between your complicated projects.
That's
I
right.
remember doing some dresses, and I was just like, I think I wasn't making anything really pretty, and I'm like, I want to make something pretty. So I went online. I had saved some stuff this lady does. She calls her favorite sewing teacher, Tammy, and she does these quick little easy projects. So I did like a bowl cover, and then something for my hand towel.
Oh, good.
Decorative thing. I want to make something pretty.
Well, this is pretty. I love that. I
Yes.
love that. So anyway, we have come to a $25 giveaway, and I didn't think I'd have enough to talk about, but I didn't even talk about it all. I can't believe it. I'm getting used to talking an hour. Terrible.
You want me to draw?
I do want you to draw. So let's see who wins $25. And by the way, I have to tell you, Farron was here yesterday, and that was her question to ask you. Do you ever sew with your grandchildren? And she had it just like that. She's so much fun. And so before we left in the late afternoon, I printed up the comments that came in. There maybe were about 40. And stapled them together and gave them to her. And when I was driving her home, she was reading them out loud. It really meant a lot when you mentioned her. And and she enjoyed that. So thank you so much. Thank you for that. So let's see who wins $25 today. Oh no, better draw. We won't even tell you who it is.
Maybe it's the big ones that maybe they
I
were
don't
drawn
know.
to.
Okay. Well, I'll make it up to you, Denise, but we're going to draw somebody else. This is Denise
I'll
Ferris.
read Denise's.
Yeah.
Well, since Fred and I only have fur babies and no grandchildren to sew with, I did try to get Tula May to show an interest in what I was sewing, but alas, all she wanted to do was pull the labels off my fabric storage bins. Now she's banned from the sewing room. So happy to see Sweet Farron again on the video.
Well, Denise is going to be here with me next week, and I'm going to make that up to her. But let's draw somebody else, and I know she'll forgive me.
All right, Rosanna Curry.
Oh my goodness, Rosanna!
Always a good giveaway. What a good question. So far, neither of my granddaughters seem interested in sewing. They also aren't in the same state. My grandsons aren't interested at all. Hopefully, one day I'll teach one of them.
Oh, I did take Fred's comment out because there's something about the Ferrises we love so much that we put our hand in there and they just stick to us.
I know it,
Isn't
right?
that crazy? Yeah, we do love them, and but I know that they would approve of me passing that along to somebody else. All right, now I'm gonna let you go turn it off. Oh my goodness.
See you later, G and G.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Next Friday, we'll have special guests Connie Palmer and Lisa Maddox from Australia. And they will, it's going to be fun. I mean, I don't even know exactly what we'll talk about, but I know there'll be plenty to discuss. So that'll be next Friday's giveaway. But we'll see you again on a Tuesday's Treasures. Thank you very much.